It's that time of the week where you're looking to set your lineups. You're trying to figure out who you want to play. And I'm going to help you out with your running backs today. I'm going to give you my top 30 running backs. We're going to rank them by tier. And we're just going to go from the top to the bottom and see what we're looking at. You don't have to agree with the rankings. And as a matter of fact, you shouldn't agree with all of them because that is not how things should work. You should really be looking into these players one by one, but we got these set up in tiers. Pretty much, if someone's ranked close to each other, then really there's not much difference, so you just go with your gut from that point. But the top tier, the stud tier, we're going to go over our top players for the week at running back, and the first one is Derrick Henry. Next is Saquon Barkley. Number 3, Nick Chubb. And number 4, making his first appearance in the stud tier for this year, is Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs been balling out this year, getting a lot of touches, making things happen. He's been working his way up to tiers each week. In Breyer, before the breakout, we were just wondering when it was going to happen because the workload was there, and we saw him kind of like hovering, like it was going to happen, and now he's here. Let's hope that he stays healthy, but an interesting matchup for this week against the Saints. Going to be fun one to watch, and you know what, we can move him anywhere in this tier because he's that valuable. I like Saquon a lot. I have Derrick Henry at 1, but I'm willing to move him back. Henry and Chubb, very similar, just guys that get workload, guys that get volume. Doesn't even matter the matchup. If you get that much volume, you're going to have to be ranked pretty high. You're starting all these guys. If you have to bench one of these guys, God help you. How'd you get so many good running backs? But these are the top tier. The next tier is pretty studly as well. Let's get this started before we start moving them around, though. So first off, Kenny Walker, Christian McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, Tony Pollard, Jonathan Taylor, and Dalvin Cook. This is a very interesting set here. I like all these running backs. I'm still guessing what to do with Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to move him back a bit. I don't want to sleep on Dalvin Cook either. I'm not hating on him. I just want to see the volume in the offense. I want to see the transition before I anoint him. Kenneth Walker's huge on this channel. We've been high on him all year. We've been high on him last year when he was at Michigan State. I feel like the volume is going to be huge for him, and he breaks off those long runs. Joe Mixon gets volume, about 15% share of the passing targets. Tony Pollard's a wild card. I feel like he is going to get a large workload this week, pretty much because Zeke's going to be out. Zeke's going to be out. We're going to be riding Tony Pollard. You're not going to be benching him. It is against Chicago. Could be a slower game, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with a bad taste in our mouth from this contest. Dalvin Cook, we never sleep on. Jonathan Taylor coming back from the injury. The Colts with a new quarterback at play. Very ambiguous here. Let's knock him back a little bit because he is Jonathan Taylor. He is a stud running back, but he is in a horrid situation. I get it. Good matchup, weird matchup against the Commanders. Things could be weird here. It could be a low-scoring game. It could be very low where it doesn't produce enough output to allow Jonathan Taylor to be able to give us the results we want. But also, he has a good floor, could give us a good RB2 week at the worst, high-end RB3 week at the worst, but also can give us RB1 or the RB1 production as well. So he's here just because we want to see what this offense is looking like. Nothing wrong on him. Next set. Tier B is solid. Tier B is really good. We got Dameon Pierce. Dude's getting touches. Dude's looking really good. Ramondre Stevenson. Those two could pretty much be brothers with how they play the game. Alvin Kamara. And I want to talk about him a little bit more as we get into this. Travis Etienne. DeAndre Swift's back. Welcome DeAndre Swift back to the fold here. Raheem Mostert and Miles Sanders. First off, Alvin Kamara. I'm already bumping him up. I saw it, felt it in my stomach. I'm bumping him up. I don't know where. I'm going to put him like somewhere here. I like his usage in the passing game. I like his explosiveness. I'm not worried about it. Michael Thomas out. Landry out. Let's roll with some Alvin Kamara. We don't want to sleep on him. I like him, actually, especially in redraft. Dameon Pierce getting touches, getting volume, looking good. You never want to sleep on him. Running backs who get volume, you want. Same with Travis Etienne. We're looking for a good workload out of him. There is some other jabronis on the roster that could be getting touches, but right now it's the Travis Etienne show. He's explosive, catches the ball in the backfield. He's good to go. Watch him roll, and you have to start him every week because he's getting those touches. DeAndre Swift here is a wild card, and he's in the part of Tier B where things are starting to tear off. If you want to put him back here or here, but remember when he's catching balls in the backfield, when things are going off in this game, because this game could be high scoring between Detroit and Miami. So this could be a high scoring affair where both these two running backs hit. You may want both of them in your lineup. DeAndre Swift's a guy you don't want to look in too hard, but also he's coming back from that injury, so you don't know what touch load you're going to get. There could be a chance that they just work him in slowly, or it's full go. Raheem Mostert getting workload, getting usage in the passing game, running over 20 routes a game. Miles Sanders is always a sleeper. He's always a sleeper running back. He's explosive, catches the ball in the backfield, getting a lot of opportunity. He's always a threat to be an RB1 every week. Never sleep on him. Tier B is that don't sleep tier, but you also got to start tier. Next tier is Tier C. This is where things get very ambiguous. Tier B, A, and S are almost must-starts on every single one of them. C is kind of startable, kind of fringe. You want to play, but you're also iffy about kind of tier. We're going to start things off with Aaron Jones, then Deonta Foreman, Eno Benjamin, Devin Singletary, Michael Carter, Najee Harris, Tyler Algier, and David Montgomery. So looking at this tier, there's a lot of ambiguity, and you can just tell why. Devin Singletary here against Green Bay, lower volume game, but could be high output. You just don't want to trust that. Michael Carter, let's see what kind of workload he's getting with Breece Hall out. Aaron Jones is Aaron Jones. We're at Buffalo. So this could be a good matchup for him, considering this scoring could be ramped up, or it could be a lower scoring game for Buffalo, but higher scoring game for Green Bay if you look at it in that term. So it could be a higher volume game for this team, but a lower volume game compared to Buffalo standards. Najee Harris is getting workload. He's getting touches. You want to chase touches. I want to move this up a bit. He's guaranteed to get a good workload, and that's about it. That gives him more odds of crossing the goal line, catching a few balls, getting you a little something, but you don't want to bank on it. Deonta Foreman, starter. I'm going to move him up here just because he's getting starter touches, starter volume, and that's what we want here for this week, and I know that is going to create a little bit more value. I don't look at him as a must start, more like a fringe play. Let's just put him in the front of Tier C. This is how this video works every week. We kind of move these guys around as I talk through it. Tyler Algier getting workload in a slow volume game, but Atlanta loves to run the ball. And David Montgomery, still a good player, catches the ball in the backfield. But against Dallas, that defense slows things down. This could be a slower game. Look for Dallas to pull away with it. Also, the Bears are on the road. On to Tier D here. These are more fringe players that you're looking at. We're looking at Darrell Henderson. We're looking at Melvin Gordon. We're looking at Jamal Williams. We're looking at Brian Robinson. We're looking at Khalil Herbert. Latavius Murray's in the fold here. Kareem Hunt, welcome to the show. And now we got AJ, my favorite, Dillon. So Tier D is very ambiguous. AJ Dillon has been a bust all year. I'm not comfortable starting him, but he does get touches. You can't ignore touches, but I'm not confident with him. Kareem Hunt's always a threat for a big week, but it's the Nick Chubb show there. We also got Latavius Murray getting touches, and we have Melvin Gordon as well. You kind of want to just take your shot on whichever one you want. Usually, if you're betting big on either one of those, it's not a good look anyways. Darrell Henderson getting workload, but it's against the Niners. Kind of speculative on that. Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift back. Jamal Williams could get some goal line work in this one. Jamal Williams could still get touches. So he could even bump up in volume here if DeAndre Swift is just being on a pitch count in this game. So you don't want to sleep on him. Also, Brian Robinson at Indy. Indy's got some quarterback issues here. we could see a weird game script here. It could go a million different ways. One way is Washington being up and just running the ball at the end of the game. So that's something you want to look into. There's also trade talks about Antonio Gibson going on right now. And we're just looking to see if that happens. Looks like Brian Robinson's probably going to get touches, and we're chasing touches here. From here, we got Khalil Herbert, just explosive running back. Volume's going to be questionable, especially in this game against Dallas. But this is the top 30. I don't have many guys on the bottom that I want to move around here, so I'm pretty locked in here. I think I'm good. I'll change this around a little bit here and there because my thoughts are always moving around. That's why I like to do tier lists. Makes it easier to rank these players and move them around on your board. But let me know who you're starting down below, who you want in the top 30, and everything else. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. It's only going to help you out going forward. We got rankings videos, a lot of waiver wire content, a lot of trade content, everything I can just throw up on here to help you out. Also dropping more shorts on the other side of YouTube, so if you want to check those out, go ahead. If there's quick news, I'll try and post more on there as well. But I want to thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.